Okay, we're live. Yeah, I'll call order this meeting of the Huntingburg Board of Public Works to stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Dear Father God, thank you for those members of the Board of Public Works that are here today to serve us as volunteers of this community. And we ask now the decisions we make and this meeting day may be for all the citizens of Huntingburg. For these things, we ask in your son's name. Amen. First thing, hear a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
I'll second.
We got a first and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Approval of claims.
I'll make that motion.
Need to sign those myself, but make sure you sign them. So we got a motion.
I'll second.
We got first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. First thing on the docket, we have special event application. I think Amy Maxey's here for Chops and Hops. If you want to come to the podium, introduce yourself and who you're representing.
Good morning. I'm Amy Maxey. I'm with Butcher and Barrel. This morning I'm representing both Butcher and Barrel and Yard Goat for a special event. Just want to gauge interest here. Are you an athlete in the prime of your life? Are you performing at your peak physical performance? Do you enjoy running? Okay, if you answered no to any of those questions, do I have the event for you? This is the hopefully annual, but this is the first Hops and Chops Stampede 0.5K. This is the world's most achievable endurance event. That's right, not a 5K, not a 1K, a 0.5K. It's a grueling 546-yard journey that will test your determination, your stamina, and your ability to hold a beverage while moving at a leisurely pace. We anticipate running from Market Street Park, walking, crawling, Market Street Park to Butcher and Barrel and Yard Goat. And so we hope to make this satirical event a fun introduction to the Street Fest that is happening on October 3rd when Yard Goat plans to celebrate the birthday. I am asking that I can't imagine that it'll take any longer than 20 minutes. If it does, I presume those people are going for last place, in which case we will not need to have any assistance with closing the street. They'll just have to wait for the light. But we anticipate starting at Market Street Park. I realize I have to go in front of the park board. We'll start in the circle there with the swings. We'll go south to 3rd Street. We'll head west to Geiger, north on Geiger to 4th, and then down 4th to Butcher and Barrel and the Yard Goat. There will be prizes for first place, last place, best costume, best teams, things of that nature. But there will be one, potentially two hydration stations consisting of all the important Indiana beer, Busch Light, water, perhaps fireball shots, things of that nature. Questions?
Chief Kramer, of course, before these applications are submitted to you, our police department does review the route and make sure that it's acceptable, that it's something that they can handle during the time. So really, there's only one street crossing that would be at 4th Street, 231. Rest of those would be along 3rd Street. So nothing would have to actually be closed by the street department as a result of that. We have 8-foot wide sidewalks. That should be plenty. But I think they handle the 20 to 100 that you were looking at. Even if it's
And I have no clue how to gauge the interest on this. You know, we could have 20 of us goofs out there doing the thing, or we could have 100 of us. I don't know.
So, any questions? You're ending at middle of 4th Street. I'm sure no closings there.
Well, the street will already be closed.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right.
So, Yeah, we're gonna end at Butcher and Barrel and Yard Goat.
Because that was previously.
Right there, that
approved.
alley, kind of, that's our ending line.
That was the anniversary that was previously approved,
Yes.
Jason, that I think 2 meetings ago, maybe.
Yeah, October
Same as
3rd.
we did last year.
Yeah, this is sort of a kickoff to that event.
Those would be the soft barriers.
On the east side, nothing on the west side yet.
Yeah, the stoplight at 231 there would
I'm
be.
talking from 231 west.
Oh, yeah, no,
Nothing.
no.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be the same area that was shut down last year for the Yard Goat anniversary.
Did we go all the way to Jackson or did we stop at the alley? Do you remember?
Went to Jackson.
We went to Jackson,
I mean, it makes more sense to go to Jackson.
yeah. Yeah, because we didn't want cars to have to make
Get
U-turns
stuck,
and
yeah,
stuff, and,
yeah.
yeah. So I make a motion to approve if there are no questions or concerns.
I didn't have any.
I'll second.
We got a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hope to
Thank
see you
Amy.
guys there.
It sounds like my doctor will let me do it. Street Superintendent, Jason Stom.
Morning.
Morning.
Questions on anything on the report?
Just,
We're
update on the other CCMG projects.
Yeah, I've been in contact with Rudolph. They have a plan as to what they're going to do on each of those streets. I tried to get an update before I came in in today. I tried yesterday and then again this morning. The guy that does a lot of their scheduling's on vacation this week, but he told me that it would be the first part of August here at some point. They would be in here to start, working on those community crossing streets. So hopefully they'll get in here and get those done and get out of here. We're back to working on the sidewalk on 19th Street. We're pouring Brad Myers' driveway this morning. They poured it. And then we have to cross one more property with that sidewalk, Cole Myers property. And then that sidewalk will be all done. We're going to get the sidewalk, the concrete portion of it done. And then we'll come back later this fall and work on the dirt work because there's no use planting grass right now.
Rating over there too.
It won't come up. Yeah. So, that's basically the extent of that. As far as the roof on the street department goes, I believe the roof itself is all done. They are just doing a few final touch-ups. They're putting the gutters up, tying the roof in on the edges and that type of thing. The last couple weeks, they've been hit and miss as to whether they're there or not, because they've got other projects that got issues with, they're trying to get done. We did, that they're going to be done in a timely manner with this anyway. So I don't have an issue with them, when they're not there. Overall, I think they've done a very good job with it. It doesn't leak anymore. So that's the big thing with it. So, and I am going to meet with Brett Ship, the end of August to discuss the interior part of it. He's going to look at it, kind of give me a, structural engineer's take on what needs to be done on the inside. And then I'm going to send it out to 3 contractors that do that type of work, have them give me an estimate as to what it would cost to do it. Because there is a little money that was set aside for this project. There is going to be some left over at the end. I'm going to get an estimate to see what they would charge to do it. And then I'll bring that to you guys and let you guys decide whether or not, we want to try that or if we want to try to fix it ourselves. I mean, it is something that we can probably do ourselves. It'll take a lot longer, obviously, because we're not drywallers and things like that. But, if a contractor does it, you know, they'll get in there and get out, so. But once I get all that, I'll bring it to you guys and let you make that decision as to what you guys want to, do with it, how you want to proceed with it.
We had appropriated 300,000 for the roof. The bid was 252. There's roughly 48,000 left. And the plan was to be able to fix the insulation and the drywall and stuff on the inside with that.
So,
Probably won't take all that, but
Yeah, does that have to be engineered?
no, I just want him to,
Okay.
to look at the floor joists and the ceiling
Yeah.
over the break room to make sure that they're not gonna, cause that is an area up there where we get up there and walk around to change furnace or filters and things like that.
Okay.
He's just gonna come in and look at it. He's
Okay,
not
we're
gonna.
not doing like a. big
No,
packet or nothing?
no.
No.
Okay.
It make me feel better if somebody like him looks at it
Yeah.
and says, yeah, cause you can see them, they're exposed cause the drywall's gone.
he has to come out and inspect the roof too. So
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that'll be part of that. So yeah, there's not gonna be, there won't be much, no cost involved with that, but
no.
so. If there's no other questions, the only thing I want to ask for is permission to get quotes for, cleanup of the limb yard. Again, it's getting about that time of the year where I'd like to send those letters to, I think there's like 6 contractors I send it to every year. I just want permission to be able to send that out, and then maybe by the next meeting, the September meeting, I'll have all that and I present it to you and you guys can make a decision as to what you want to do with it.
That is a function as a separate line item in the budget.
It is a
that's
budget
already
item, yes, correct.
allocated, so the money's there based upon the annual budget.
Yeah.
So I'd make that motion to move forward with quotes.
I'll second.
Shirley's got the second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Anything else?
Wastewater Superintendent Brad Coomer.
Good morning.
Morning.
Questions on the report?
Change order number 6.
Yeah, there's 2 change orders there. Number 6, there's a few items. I've talked to most of you about it. I know I talked to Dan and Carrie also that aren't here for $76,444, sorry, and 77 cents. Approved to move forward on that. Or if you have any questions, we can.
It's only 56 pages long and but if you can give us the down and dirty gist of what happened, I know it's has to do with the pumps on centrifuge and a few other things.
Yes, I can. Electric actuators for the centrifuge building basically lets us get in there and run that centrifuge. One person instead of having 2 staff members there. That way you don't have to manually open the valves. They'll be automatic. That was for 20,000. Intermediate landing for the stairs is 4,000. That's basically OSHA approved. You got to have a resting area to go up 15, 30 feet. So you got to have a spot to stop. The big one in there is circuitry for heat tracing for $37,410. I've talked to Eric about this a bunch, and it's kind of a hard thing to get in the bid for all the heat tracing once they get that done. But that's basically all the break tree and everything to get the heat tracing done. There's 2 deducts, one for 14,000, one for 4,100. Delete stone backfill in one of the basements. We'll keep that open. They did demo it, but we'll keep that open for a storm shelter. And then the other one, some light poles that we moved around and got rid of. Flange on digesters, basically a new flange we need for the Supernate to go through on the old digester for 13,000. And then ARV mixing pumps for the mixing pumps on the new SBR needs, as there's air that's involved in that, we need to put some ARV valves on there to release pressure. And then the zero mag meter is basically a new mag meter where you can bolt flange right directly up to it. You don't have to have a space in between for fitting.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that?
Now, that heat tracing, I think you and I talked about it,
Yeah.
but that's a wintertime thing, right? A
Correct,
freezing thing.
correct. It's all the outside
For people that
exposed
don't know what.
piping that's gonna
Yeah.
have heat tracing on there and insulated so it won't freeze.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on a job this size, we probably had about as many deducts as we have had, so.
Yeah.
I think we've been very fortunate on change orders. They're here, we're under budget, and
Correct.
that's the key right there. I make a motion to approve. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I'll need to sign that too.
Yeah, we'll need to sign them. And then also change number 4. We've discussed this several meetings ago for the extendency of the project and day for 166 days. That's a total of $257,000.87, I believe. And that's for Commonwealth for the extra time they have involved in this project.
It's basically engineering for the finish up in the centrifuge.
Engineering and
the other items
inspector
that
and
we've had.
everybody down there. Correct.
No, Phil's reviewed the contract.
It also includes engineering for the additional centrifuge building
Correct.
that was added.
And all that information should be in the board pack where you can.
Just
put it
task
in.
order number 2026.
No, this is amendment 3 to the engineering.
Amendment
agreement, I
3 to
think.
the engineering.
Or is it?
This was always, the centrifuge and these additions at the end were always in the plan, but kind of as an alternate, depending on where the budget was landing. So it wasn't a surprise. It was the fact that we were under budget that we were able to go head forward with the centrifuge and the engineering of it. So that's where.
Yeah, amendment number 3, change order number 4.
For 257,087.
Yes, sorry.
So we'll need a motion to approve.
It's there, I assume.
Yeah,
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. All those, any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you. Next thing, approval to go out, to get bids for a telehandler down there for sludge handling. This was put in the PR when we first started this project, so like some of the other stuff, this will be able to be reimbursed to us. We'll pay for it out of our funds, hopefully, if we can come up with an agreement, and then we'll be reimbursed at the end of the project. I'd just like permission to get bids on a telehandler.
I'll make the motion for you to go out to bid for it.
Second.
We got a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Cool. Next, declare the treatment plant, all the old treatment plant surplus. As we're working to tear most of the stuff out, most of it's scrap. I did reach around a lot of people and see if there's some stuff that people be interested in, or other towns and stuff like that. And it's usually got one purpose, and a lot of it's old. Some of the stuff we will keep, but we will separate the aluminum and everything like that and haul it off for scrap. I just need to declare that surplus so we can get moving on that.
I make a motion to approve surplus.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Second. Yeah.
That allows, for demolition too.
Yeah, next is, working with Commonwealth for task order 2026-02 demolition bid pack prep. So we did have this in the PR. We didn't accept it at the initial bid. I think it was, maybe the number, but to go out to bid and for them to get the bid pack together to demo everything else down there. And that price was $9,800. It's under 10,000, but I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. We're gonna do that, get a bid pack together so we can demo the rest of the stuff. And then also, if you all been down there, there's a clarifier right in front of our office. It's a 50-foot round diameter, 14-foot deep. I've been working with Cooper Contracting and ourselves. I believe we're gonna demo that. Crush the top 3 foot and fill it in. I've talked to Jason, maybe use some millings and some clay and then compact it in there. But if we could do that in-house, it should be able to keep it under $10,000. And then when they come in and pave, we can make that a parking lot. So I could get that done in-house before we start paving everything. You guys are good with that?
That's one right in front of your office now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
He's right at the 10,000 threshold, so in this case, I think we go
Yeah, I
ahead and
just
make a
don't
motion
wanna
to approve
exceed
it,
it,
just in
yeah.
case it goes over.
Like 2 days do the concrete. Cooper's like $2,500 for a piece of equipment. And then I'll probably rent a, sheep's foot, portable sheep's foot. We can get down in there remotely and compact everything going up there. But we'll just, and maybe some trucking to haul the millings from, First Street lot over. And we'll just keep track of the time material. And then if we reach it, we'll stop at 10,000. You're good with that?
Good. Need a motion for it.
I think I would because it.
Let's
you know,
do it
it's
just in case it goes
approaching
over.
the 10,000.
Should
Yeah,
should
that's
we,
Or do you want to
make
put a
the-
max on it?
I was gonna say, should we make a motion and put a max on that's a little above if he needs a little room?
Yeah. I think a safe number would be 15, just in case someone really went wrong, but probably 1,000 or 2 would be enough. I'd entertain a motion for a limit and go from there.
Just do 15,000. I'll keep you guys posted of how we're doing on that.
I'll make the motion for you to proceed, not to exceed 15,000.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Saves us quite a bit from going out on that.
Yes, I don't know the numbers, what we had an initial bid, but it was a lot to demo that, so I'll do it ourselves. Other than that, plant's coming along. There's some few stuff that's being held up, stairs and stuff like that. Merrill Brothers started showing up this week to get the lagoons closed, so we'll probably see some trucks and a bunch of stuff coming out. You just want them to go straight out Second Street. Hauling, probably be some semis with sludge. Or do you want to have them in Washington? Second. Okay, so that will be happening. I think they're starting today periodically, so. Other than that, any questions?
I have none.
Yeah, when you start getting those telehandler bids, give me a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
One thing, you want to talk about the pump, the stations.
South side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we want to,
Yeah, we've,
you want to.
just something we're investigating right now, and we just, moving forward, we're getting more and more requests from, some of these are anonymous, developers wanting to know a lot of information about, locating near the airport area, that 300 and some acres out there. We have some capacity issues if that happens. Some of that's water, but that would be on St. Henry. The other capacity issues we would have is with our pumps, our lift stations that are out there. There's 7 out there, but 4 would really need upgraded.
There's 2 lift stations out at the airport, which come in town and pump to 2 others. But we've had people reach out to us for flows and stuff out there. And Eric and I have been working on that. Their proposal, I believe, was year 1 to 3. We can meet them flows. If they would go their second proposal for their flows from, I think, was it 5 years? I think 5 years, we would need to upgrade out there. And basically we got plenty of capacity for now, but if they would be out there 5 years and up their capacity, we would need to upgrade our pumps. And that's what we're kind of looking at. The pits and everything out there are pretty decent shape. But I think there is some funds we can go after to get that approved. And I think what we need to do, and they can speak more, is get things approved, we can probably maybe, if we had to pay for the PER out of our funds, or we can get somebody to help us pay for that, gives us ability to go after and get some funds later on, maybe a year out, to do that upgrades, and then we can also possibly do the SCADA for our
we
lift stations with that.
go after federal funds that would be, because it's an economic development project, that's a very, could be a large economic development project. We're really don't know a whole lot right now, but there are some, I know the state, a lot of people are involved in the project right now, and there's even been more than one inquiry on that property. I know of at least 3.
Talking industrial or residential, or what are you talking?
It'd be industrial.
Okay.
It'd be light, what I call light industrial. Most of the things, it would be more, some of it may be warehousing, some of it may be small production stuff, but it's not gonna be anything heavy, that's heavy pollutants or those type of things.
And make sure you make it clear, it's not a data center.
Yeah, it's not a data center. No. Just to be clear, they're not written real clear to us, but we do have, we do know that one of those, 2 of the 3 have been aviation related, so they've been talking to the airport and local economic, but they're areas that they want to be able to utilize the airport for aviation related industry, which is great. But yeah, it'd be clean manufacturing, let's just put it that way. And hopefully that's what ends up there, but be nice to get it developed and bring a little income off of it, but we don't have the capacity to spend the money for that. So we're working with Commonwealth and trying to put together a package that we can present from a federal grant standpoint to finish it. They've done a lot of the work already. They're very familiar with some of the work that they've done was prior to the existing plant being built, and so we could move forward. But to handle it, we're going to have to upgrade those pumps. Having the SCADA system will make life a lot easier for you as far as being able to track pump performance and those type of things out there. So we had no money to do that internally, but through federal funding, we could do it. So really just asking for just a motion to let us at least proceed and look at the possibilities and come to you with costs. There may be nothing go there. I don't know, like I said, there've been 3 inquiries. The first 2, I think, have dropped off already. So that land is controlled by Du Bois Strong. So we know where our wishes from there. So really the motion would be to just investigate costs and needs for that area.
I'll make a motion to do that.
I'll second.
We got a first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll get to the point where we're applying for, obviously, for a grant that would come forward, and that also have to go through the council, go to fiscal. All right, thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Again, we don't have any non-disclosure agreements or anything like that. We just really don't know right now what's out there. We just know that we're getting inquiries. So we do know that one of those is there. And yeah. How'd you know you were next? Okay, we have Police Chief Brad Kramer.
Good morning. Any questions, concerns about the report?
Just I look at your type of total report. You have 749 interactions, basically. Busy month. I think it was about 100 less than that the month prior.
Probably.
Summer's on.
It is. Yep. We had a couple guys out for different trainings too, so that makes a difference as well. But No questions, concerns about the report. We did finish our first Citizens Firearm Safety course. Amy that spoke earlier, she was a part of that one. Carrie was a part of it. It was very successful. We got a lot of great feedback on it. I'm gonna give our firearms guys a chance to kind of catch back up on what they're doing because they were focused on that for a while, and then we're gonna plan on hosting another one this year. So, but we got a bunch more registrations after we threw that up on our social media, so they keep coming in. But we also, with the fire department, we just completed our second camp for the kids, Camp Blazing Badge. Very successful, in my opinion. A lot of fun for us as well, not just for the kids. Next. Officer Eckert, he's halfway through his drug recognition expert training. He spent 2 weeks up in Lawrence, going through 2 different weeks of training to be able to recognize what kind of drugs people are on whenever he's dealing with them, and we'll be able to call them out. All of that is being funded through the ICGI. And to finish it, he'll have to spend a week or 2 down in Florida, which is all paid for by ICGI as well, in order to get his certification. So they pay for everything, transportation, training, meals, all of that. So the only thing we have to pay for is the man hours. And then we can utilize him. We can call him out, and even his call out is covered by ICGI, and it's time and a half. So whenever he gets called out to do that evaluation. So next, we're going through a process of updating our field training process. So after this, it'll change kind of what we do a little bit. It'll extend it 2 more weeks versus 16 weeks. It'll be 18 weeks. And then we've been told, talking to the individual that's putting this training on and stuff, that they've had a lot better success with this program than the current program that we use. It is a modified version of the program that we use, but it allows us to work with the officers more and train them a lot better. So last thing I've got, we did swear in the reserves that you guys graciously approved for us. We're working on getting them outfitted and trained, and hopefully be able to use them by the end of the year. So
You have an event this Saturday? Is that this Saturday or is that at Cool Springs?
oh, the honor remember run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's this Saturday. We've been selected to be beneficiaries of those funds, along with Jasper Police Department. Appreciate that partnership with them. So,
You can make your donations online. So
yep,
if you want to support
but it's a really good
Those-
program.
good programs.
Supposed to be a bigger event this year with it being America's 250th. So they're wanting to do it big. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of officers going to that as well to support that. So, but any other questions, concerns?
I'll be there, but I won't be running. So
Depending on how my ankle is, I might be
We'll
doing the
see.
same thing. So, all right.
Sure,
Thank you,
make
guys.
it. Thank you. Fire Chief Don Heim. Well,
Any questions in the report?
what was the best part of Blazing Badge Camp?
Friday,
Friday,
the
the-
fire day.
Police
It
did what then?
was a great week. We showcase EMS We landed a helicopter and had an ambulance service there. We had a conservation officer. Thursday was all police and Friday was all fire. So we kind of show the kids a little bit of everything, hopefully maybe planting some seeds or just giving the kids something to stay out of trouble with. So it was a good week. Kids had a lot of fun and so did we.
We do have officers and firefighters that were connected to
Mhm. I
police and
think-
fire as a child, whether it be shot for a cop and those type of things that inspired them to go
Yeah.
into service, and that's part of it, but also it's always good to have dialogue with young people.
Yeah. I do have two things to ask. The first one, I sent an email, kind of with an explanation of where we are with, kind of our long range planning, but also with, our equipment. And I am asking that we get approval to seek bids for a new rescue. Our current one is 27 years old. It'll be 28 years old, very soon. But there's a lot of electrical, faults in it that we can't find. We spent a lot of money on it this year to keep it running. It is our most used truck. It goes on every fire, every rescue, every car accident. It goes on a lot of medical runs. And it has been probably the most used truck that we have. So thinking out long range, and talking with the mayor, looking at 5, 8 years, 10 years out, we have another truck that is very important to our community, and we're trying to see if we can get this in and paid for before that happens.
Yeah, we have to really know the costs and what's involved before we can move forward with trying to figure out how to appropriate. It could be a bond, it could be a lot of things that we'd do and make payments on. Obviously, it wouldn't be a cash because of the cost, but at 731, what dollar amount range are we looking at probably?
I mean, it ranges, but what we're looking at right now is something very basic that carries our equipment from point A to point B. Two pieces of equipment that are on the truck is a light tower, which has been beneficial not just to us, but for the longest time we were the only ones around that had the light tower, and we've gone to Holland, we've gone to St. Henry and supplied, and even Jasper at times supplied them with light, which is huge when you're on a scene, and a fill station, which allows us to continue to fill air packs while we're on scene. So just that basic stuff. We're looking at should be less than 650,000, but they go all the way up. I mean, it gets crazy, like $1.2 million. So we're not trying for anything like that. We're trying to be very basic and cost efficient, with a quality truck that'll get us to point A to point B.
Yeah, we don't, a lot of those custom trucks have extra cabs and
Mhm.
space that we don't really need. We don't load up 4 people in a truck to respond. Normally it's 1 or 2.
Yeah.
We think we can save quite a bit of money.
Our current one has
500,000 for versus going
Yeah.
the Cadillac version.
Our current one has a pump on it. We're not going to put a pump on this one. We have fire engines that we will roll for specific types of that have pumps, so we can save money there. And that's about 100,000. A custom cab is another 100,000, off it just that quick, just to do that. So we've scaled back all of that stuff to try to get what will serve our purpose, because we do have a lot of certifications and experience in our department, and we want to maintain and be able to carry that equipment to help when needed.
So the motion would be to investigate costs involved in replacement and setting up a time frame. I would make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, Thank you.
I have one more request to be able to seek applications. I have 2 openings on the fire department now. And I would like to be able to pursue to seek applications and fill those spots so we can keep our manpower at full capacity.
I'll make the motion for you to do that.
Second. All those, got first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And if there's no other questions, that's all I have for this month.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Planning Director Paul Lake. I think is this your first meeting in a while?
Was he last month?
Oh, maybe you were here last month. That's
Yeah, I
right.
was.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everybody's got the reports. Any questions on them?
Notice violations of 98 last month.
Yeah, busy month. I've got a feeling that September's report's going to be pretty similar to that as well, in terms of the number of violations that have gone out or contacts that have been made.
And yeah. The 98 doesn't include those that you've contacted and they've fixed it immediately or something. So.
Right, right. But as an example, prior to this report was run Tuesday at about 4:45, and there were an additional 10 to 12 yesterday. So it's going to be that kind of a month. For some reason, it seems like untagged parked vehicles have become very popular, even more popular than they have been in the past. And some of them, they'll take care of the problem. And then 4 days later, there's another vehicle with no tag on it sitting there. So they'll get a friendly reminder from me. It'll be mailed out today. So, any other questions?
And I think you just overview, and we'll say it in every public meeting, but right now, from your planning side, we are looking at, changes, to the UDO and and there is a firm that's making that, and that was funded through Du Bois Strong, that'll look at our codes and what we could change or consider changing. And we got a master list of those. So hopefully by the end of the year, we can have that.
Right.
As well as control other type of, industry expansion that wasn't considered back in 2020.
Yeah, in 2021, they weren't even on the radar when the Unified Development Ordinance was adopted. And because of that, we don't even have definitions within our current ordinance. So we want to get up to speed on that, as well as to look and see how other communities have handled different things, what's appropriate, what's not, where they'd be located, whether it be a data center. The solar field is an example. There are things that we as a community need to look at and consider, and recognize that there are some things that we already have in the community that are a hot button in other communities right now, the data centers, as an example. They've always been around. Banks, factories, they have their own. So we just want to make sure that as we move forward and update the ordinance, that we do it judiciously and don't jump to just establishing a flat moratorium on it. There are a couple of communities in Indiana that have done that. My guess is they'll probably be tested in court. Realistically, they'll probably lose in court if it gets to that point. But that's just my 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Andrew Brown,
Good morning.
morning.
Any questions on the report? All renewals are wrapped up, so health insurance, all our general liability renewals and everything is wrapped up for the year, so. Those are all
From a
done.
cost standpoint, we look pretty good on,
Yeah, I think cyber went up just a little bit, and then our general liability property went up just a little bit, but that we added some things. We added the senior center, we added the wastewater plant. So for what it went up, it wasn't we were expecting actually. a
Very
bigger-
conservative compared to.
Yeah, a
the
bigger
amount.
jump, so.
When you had over
I
$40
think it
million
went up-
in assets.
I
it's-
think it went up 10%, but only 2% of that was an increase based on the rate. So the rest of it was just from us adding buildings and things, so.
Employee handbooks close.
We're working on that. So, and then ADA and Title VI will be doing some updating. Those deadlines come in the fall for some of the things that we have to have submitted, so start working on that as well.
That's end of October. Those are,
Yeah, there's a couple different dates for different things, so,
okay,
thank you.
thank you. City Attorney Philip Schneider.
Well, the only thing I have is Tom brought to my attention that this past legislative session, the legislature increased the allowance for volunteer firefighting clothing and personal auto use. I think it's currently $100 and $150 respectively, and those are to increase to a minimum of $250 for clothing allowance annually and $250 for use of personal vehicle allowance. And so we'll be presenting an ordinance to the council to amend our ordinances to provide for that. Just as a matter of information to you all, there's nothing you need to do to approve it because it's mandated by law. And it'll be taken into consideration in our next budget.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil. Clerk Treasurer Tom Dipple.
No, I have nothing.
We have any board items? Have any citizen items? Yeah, okay, if you'd like to come to the podium, introduce yourself and speak,
First, I want to say my name is Danny Houchins. I live at 106 South Chestnut Street. I am not a public speaker by any means. I bought my house at 106 South Chestnut off of John Rudepeller 41 years ago. Y'all should know him very well. At the time, the street ended at 4th Street. Did not go over the hill to Highway 64. Since then, it has become what is known as, by your city employees, the Speedway. There is speeders cutting across town, avoiding going 231. They run the stop sign at the four-way stop at First Avenue, Chestnut slash South Chestnut. I have talked to 3 of the police officers, Begley being one of them, who sits at the church on South Chestnut. I'm not sure what church it is. He has caught speeders, and even within 5 minutes of me talking to him and going back down and talking to him, he caught one. I have video that I took this morning that if anybody wants to see it. I know I have a meeting with Mayor Elkins, who is going to come out to my house and hopefully actually see some of the driving behaviors that go on. It is a constant freeway. In the mornings between 5:30 and 7:30, it is just a constant flow of traffic. It cuts down some during the midday, but not a whole lot. 3:30 to 5:30, when everybody's trying to get off work, they go. I am a 41-year experienced mechanic in different dealerships in the area and 22 years at Toyota. I can estimate a speed of when they stop off, take off from the stop sign going south to 231, and I hear a car change 3 gears, I know they're going over 25 mile an hour already when they pass my house. And I'm only the second house from the stop sign going south. It is, plus the noise has raised in that neighborhood, from all the traffic. And I'm just looking for a solution. I really don't want to take police resources to police the driving behavior, because they have better things to do. I would rather see some kind of another solution, whether it's adding another four-way stop, some kind of camera, something like that. But that's why I'm here today.
Thank you. And we'll look at all options and, we have the sign now available that we just got from the AARP, or we can and the idea of that sign was to make people aware when they are speeding, because it has been shown on 231 where the state's put those signs, or we've done education on people that, on stop arms, for school buses.
Yes.
We had a lot of violations a couple of years ago, because the cameras go off on the bus when somebody does that. That was almost totally eliminated this past year in the areas of concentration where we've done education. I think a lot of that's going to be education there. Yeah, I was just mentioning, earlier in the report, there were 769 contacts the police made. Some of those are investigations at homes that take time, and that doesn't include their ongoing investigations they do with other forces too on top of that. So 289 citations last year, traffic stops, and 42 miles of streets. I think, if we've been a little short on police officers because of training. So we've had 2 officers in some cars. We'll have more road officers. That is a point of concentration. We need to look at some other areas there. Mentioned John Rudipolar that even in the morning, we need to look at lighting at some of those, at the four-way stop and other intersections to improve street lighting in the area, especially. But I know they pull a lot of people over for running that stop sign on when school starts. That seems to be the time when that hits. And
Eventually there's gonna be a death there, because I've seen cars run 40 mile an hour through that. I've stood in my drive and my yard with my phone held up, and you want to see people get, whenever they think they're getting caught, when they think they're getting caught doing something wrong, they will immediately slow down and they will stop even for 2 or 3 seconds at the stop sign.
Well, I live on the south side of town. I've purposely made it my mission that when I go home, to go home that way, and when I come to work that way, or if I go to anywhere traveling north and south, I utilize Chestnut to try to gauge what kind of activity is there. I've not seen, probably could be the time of day I go through there, but I've not seen those type of situations. Obviously you live in there, have seen things that I'm not going to see, or even the police are going to see. And
I got video from this morning that I can show anybody that wants to look at it, of cars speeding. And
we'll I think it's going to be, part of it's going to be lighting. Someone's going to be street department we'll look at and make recommendations, as well as with Chief Kramer on, I think I'm meeting with you at 1 o'clock today, or somewhere around there.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
1 o'clock. Yes.
So out there.
And hopefully it can be a time, because on a Tuesday, I sat in my driveway and watched how many cars went through that stop sign, either going east and west or north and south. And there was 50 cars at 2:30 in the afternoon through that intersection. The amount of traffic going up and down that, and But I focus on South Chestnut because that's where I live. But I've also heard from people on the North Chestnut side, on the other side of the highway, that they just, everybody uses it as a unchecked freeway to get from one side of town to the other. It's I'm glad I don't have kids that would actually play in the yard or anything, because it's not a good situation. But that's my main concern, is the speeders and the people that run the stop sign.
We appreciate your comments, Mr. Alchins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I invite anybody that wants to come out, and we can stand in my driveway, in my yard.
Says
And you-
keep out in your driveway.
That's because I have $200,000.
So I didn't stand there.
I have $200,000 in my hobby of
Okay.
race cars.
Oh, okay, all right. You sit, yeah. Didn't want a dog to bite me or anything, so,
Oh.
You're
my
all
dog did not bite
all
you.
right.
Hi, Janet Schnell, South Sycamore. Yes, I agree with Chestnut Street along with the e-bikes, and I know that we're going to be addressing that because as an avid walker, we have a lot of e-bikes who are using the sidewalks and running the people who are walking off the sidewalks. I refuse to budge. But yes, I agree. Chestnut Street has become a major problem. And it's more out of fear too. Who is going to die because of people driving recklessly? I'm actually here to address or do an update on the hoarding ordinance. As of what I'm starting to see now, more on a weekly basis, smaller, more things coming back onto the property. It's not being mowed between the houses. And so what's happening is all the weeds then are coming onto my side of the property because the sunlight attracts growth that way. In the back, there was a skunk and the shed was not properly secured. So it was sleeping in their shed and then coming over to my garden to eat the vegetables. So we trapped the skunk and had someone to get rid of it. And because it was on our property, then we incurred that expense that they're housing the skunk. Just starting to see like slow progress of it all coming back again. And I don't know where we are with moving forward on other properties to address it. And also if we're going to revisit the hoarding ordinance to see if there's, because this is the first time we've had to really do this, to see if there's another way that we need to maybe look at what do we need to change on the current policy.
Yeah, it is a
to-
long, lengthy process. I know Mr. Heim wants to address that, chief of Sycamore.
He has been very good too, by the way. I've been direct communication. Donnie has been following up, so I do definitely appreciate.
And I know Phil's been involved too, so legally.
I haven't been there in probably, well, last week was our camp, so it was before, probably 2 weeks ago. And my last conversation with them, they've been cited for their building to seal it up. I haven't been back since. This is my first week that I'm getting some time to do that. I will say, not only there is some composting that you're throwing food scraps, so that's drawing the animal. So there's nothing wrong with composting, but
That's not where the skunk's going to though. It's going
I didn't
into
say
my
that's where
garden.
They're going to, but that's the reason why they're coming, is some of the composting, but, I will, I mean, they have a citation or, a notice of violation for their building. The last time I talked to them, it was during the last high heat, right before we had that cool snap. I wasn't expecting them to go out and try to work in that. So I haven't talked to them since we had that cool snap. And it's on my list to get done. As far as, I don't count how much stuff is on there. I mean, I have to depend on, she tells me and I tell her, take pictures and so we can see that growth, but, I can't, there's stuff there. What is there and what is new, I don't know that. From my drive-by from public areas, I can't notice that until it gets to a
Basically have to get in Janet's yard to see that, I believe.
I have it.
And we've been giving him permission to be able to go all the way to where you can see to the back also, to be able to come on our property to take pictures and see, but I've been doing close to weekly pictures as an update.
It's not just their property. There are 2 or 3 others that, between Donnie and I, it's a long process, 2 or 3 others in the northeast quadrant that we've worked with, a couple of them at least 2 years. They've made progress. Are they 100% yet? No, they're not there. Most of theirs wasn't on a porch, though. It was out in yards and side lots and that. They've made progress. There are another half dozen to a dozen that will get started after that, but you can only go after so many of them at a time. Fortunately, we've avoided going to court on the others at this point. Partly because they have made progress.
Yeah, and there is one building, one of those that lost a building to fire and we're withholding part of their insurance settlement payment here until that's cleaned up and taken. And I think it's about $10,000 we're holding until they clean it up. So we're getting a little more aggressive with that. Those are other avenues that we have. If there's some kind of insurance claim, we can hold on to that until they clean everything up and make it right and fit the building. So we're trying to tackle all those. We talked to the council, I know about putting a code enforcement officer out there that can catch, weeks that he's doing his clinics or trainings and that he can't get out there and do it. Who's doing that? When we're dealing with data centers and other code, UDOs and changes in our plan, and working with actually a couple developments that may be coming soon, and working with making sure that they're properly engineered and designed. Paul spends a lot of time with that, just daily. It seems like it's almost nonstop daily, people coming in asking questions of code enforcement planning, whether it be for wanting to build a shed or whatever it is. So I'd like to get somebody that's more dedicated to see the day-to-day involvement in that, but everything takes money. So
I did notice that the county is now also reaching out and they're fining $1,000 per infraction for people before even going to court, for where they're not following through with infractions. And so they're being identified. Here's a problem. You have this date to clean it up. You don't have it cleaned up. They're now starting to fine them $1,000 per item as to what they're not cleaning up. So punishment, consequences seems to move people along to move and do what they really need to do before we have to keep coming to meetings and repeating this.
yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these too are rentals and they just leave it behind.
Mhm.
That's been a common occurrence too.
Thank you.
I know. Thank you. All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Got a first and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Adjourned 9:33 a.m.
There's your wonderful. Oh, I think